Nano pay. Sanso and mini aba Margaret Obri na wawuda na ne nansa nti happy belated birthday to you Maggie. Oh mile 7 and nano pay minutes and Saturday aduane ha bankuni ne amane amane aduane de rough na kokonkwankran de kumi no ademeno ene impun Maggie nkwan de papa nti Maggie nano pay me mo achepa me fia pass straight away me bo be bibi e de abomyem na ma free kura ho na enanso aye Floyd Corte aye Roger Corte ba be ma Floyd Corte oku school award Lad Link Montessori school a North Carnation ene e wawoda wonya 11 years in day nti Floyd ene wunuanom papa Roger Kill wo mame Sherry Kill Harold Kirk and Fidget Kill all the kills so say your happy birthday Floyd Corte Floyd Kill ti happy birthday Floyd Yakupon enhira wo pa ena no penso mema ura danso oye djuma ewo special ice akura mache ena fe atenka hene atenka hene oso ye djuma o special ice before the din nka no bi so na me boni din ana osiba me fa nka ho nti atenka hene anopa mi ma wachi pa ena me share man bi ewo tantra polytank washing bay ho na oyade bi ma mani so yi papa ti owura Isaac Afum una CEO edema Afum IIB DG Limited owura Afum anopai me ma wachi eno ade aye no mani so yi papa yakopon enhira opi ena no pe bejofo ayeka do ha a iba bedi enkomo na mpanyifam no bedi enkomo no ene enkomodie no efa enkran sede enkran kwakoyo makru mantam no bia na ebie na sede ebie no akade no eka ho sede ekọ nanim no akade no so ekọ nanim sa meka akade a meka nsuo enyina mahoden enyina munkane yi akwan na fe drainage system gutters ahodo aye be papa de ato nsuo to ebe famu akọ no sede enkran kropon bae no emotre no sana ma no so ye na ene development no atumi ahia na afemi adada nso a ewo ho a yenim se nso to eta yiri abribia no fi ya santo abre so bepem ne so far ye se ye de fa ho no ye bibi de fa ho na one interesting thing in Ghana has de bia me kan say edus tobre a ene etiti gatam opesia ye etiti mu da. That tells you the kind of mentality and leaders we have in Ghana here. You be doing more critically pa. Na fi yahwe environment. Enua nyakopon bodua manipa. Se nua emu nipa ho ban. Enti wonam a wo de komase pa nam tade example pa. Wonam adum ohutumi hyehyew saa na mo no okwa na oduru danyame. Unse why say from a show to say a doom a show no would driver na so do the nyame say what do baby Yakopon ti ampa enkran hasa una moa na show wo musa na kodu achimota school side ho na fu say why form kakra Yakopon sebi onyimi onimu nyansa ena ne nyansa mu no obonua de man nipa se enua no emoa yen enua ne ma yem nya from apa home enti ya chepota forest e ohoyi yan panifo ne tetefo no anya to wokwa omoje to botaye bi nti nanso ne se ye nibrew se ye beyiu se ya bro se ye danyu ye chafa ye be disasam no so ho enkomo enti ne abejafo abafia me no mbedi nkomo yi edoti bi nifa so pe eye na yaw osee dakwa oye convener Green Republic Project wono awo menchen ewa ha na Green Ghana ye kan ho asem nyina no Green Ghana ya je aboso a ye hu de ye no Green Ghana no eye ono ni master plan ni master no hyehyeye Green Ghana ai na ya je aboso no wono no hyehyeye na ekire bibi san se ho sama kosisen mi Green Ghana mi hu kura na fe ye wo openi KH Osaya Sante surveyor surveyor Kenny ede Kwajo na H no
Henry
surveyor Kwajo Henry Osaya Asante openi oye senior policy advisor Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry yes na che say Wabin papa Sophia nka ne ye from Sophia for ono so ha maybe say one surveillance ase na omo survey ni san ya mbonfo be kwanda ha na fe na chiwa ye we dey won komo and na fe say one engineer Francis Nate Nate o can say opo bo nsamenya environmental and water resources engineer or say a member Ghana Institute of Engineers na say insuo some water resources insuo some ye was bonte won kran ha ye was tene e won kran ha e wo hemfa be kan ba ko bi o ofanko barrier ye twa adua bi ye si etwa bi
abosom
dua no say insuo na wo he ayira ye bedi nkomo pa na oye engineer yi no ye bi sa say ye drainage system no eti say ankasa pa ye say wona baby abon say insuo no enangotam na bi insuo na pia fi baby na pia baby ya kuru sukura no na insuo na pia afa gata no so na mabonten isanse mo ye ma enti engineering work na ye say ye no ane de wo he abidwa form makwa aba
Agya Kwabena
da masipi se monyi abrama na wo green Ghana ho samsam me green Ghana me nyanya tamo anya ho hwehwemu nko anya ho kan wasam sanse yes nua na yedua nansen ya no yedua I think about 5 million trees yes say 12 million Ghana cedis and ye dua say nua no enua na wanfa bebia woro mo nkire ne ehu ye ba kohwehwe say enua 5 million na yesi yedua no emu dua dodo ahe na survive ye be ka ho asem papa esanse ayasem hia pa enti say nyama ko say
nyama adom boko say Green Ghana last year at 2021 and Omampeni through Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources somebody to ja adwin papa say the Green Republic project we call online we check here websites near there. I mean we started this in 2017 the mebnu about together you say no there was a report about Ghana, your forest, the depletion rate, I think it was in 2019, World Forest Watch came out with a report. It was so damning. Our nature say deforestation rate was the worst in the world. It really...
Mebo, nature say, kwaya hodra ye kwabere to o wiase nyina Ghana ye kan ho bi no.
Yes.
Ya na ye say ye kwaya pa.
Na ye say ye pa. In fact, me taste our report no ha me as a Ghanaian, me a Ghanaian and I'm proud to be a Ghanaian. Ha me It's a mametna say already ni eduanua but ni ebisa say eden na yebetumi aya yebetumi achem na yetumi age ye kwaye ne back in a very fast way nti ema me hihye bibia de friend the National Tree Planting Day me bo hu dero radio so TV so newspapers mu I made a lot of noise about this trying to get it me call various state agencies trying to get this project to take off but be na mfa banyamin cha de mitumi hia omampeni at a point and mi hia omampeni no nani so o se no ade we ade pa e wo se eye nti omampeni abopu ni ti kra so mu prekope o share bo say ade we be just after a few minutes I kasa no o se no this is brilliant we will do it and true to Israel, that was in 2019. Till 2020 and 2021 because of COVID in 2017. In 2020. 2021 State of the Nation address. But the TV when I met say Omampenia boss say ye Green Ghana Day. In fact, I was so excited, and my excitement was not because me as a person want to take glory for anything, but the fact say your leader, your president, a vision from a young Ghanaian. Wasum so be in 2019 and in 2021 he mentioned it, so I was so excited about it. Say once again we've gotten an opportunity to correct the wrongs, and after that I think it goes through processes and then that was it. You try say we'll play a role to make it work because as the originators of the concept when it comes to implementation definitely we have something that whoever is going to implement might not have. And I'm not surprised in 2021 edition the kind of implementation strategy that we had in place is not what was implemented. And I thought we were going to be contacted and then asked to also contribute in helping make the Green Ghana thing work. But unfortunately, we were not contacted, and it's unfortunate. It was bizarre. I mean, what happened, honestly, bizarre.
Me say asoye hwe ensase ene ekwaya hodro so kwabritu so abuginapo wono ne ministry na eteki ni su mu so wo mo ebe enti mu a mo hyehyɛ ade no mu a mo hu ni say ade ne se de fa ha betuna yeye pa matena se asem mmere wo ho no ebre a mampani gi tu mu a on instructor lands ministry ni so mo hya se yen ho adwuma no mo yamfra mo kora se mo fo madwen kire mra
no, nobody contacted us, and there ahomiti ewo mu ni say a few weeks to the event nangasa minister ne honorable minister abuginapo press conference, and because I've been doing this, you know, in Ghana, and the media knows. I think 2 or 3 media houses ebusa question say, is this project what we know already? And if it is not, we know a young guy who is doing this. Is he part of it? The minister responded, say, onim about that young guy, but what is a young guy be, you know, so nya contacts her. He would get back to the young man and then make us a part. That was the end. 1 year on, we still haven't gotten any, you know, invitation. And the thing is, it's not about invitation for me and my team to take any glory. It is because this is something we need to do for our nation. And as I always say, nobody sets out to fail. I think the honorable minister, you know, has good intent to do something. But sometimes we need to also appreciate the fact, you're a minister, or we've been given a position to be a DC or an MC or whatever, does not make us know it all. We definitely have to work with people to get things done. And beef, we need to get this Green Ghana thing going to achieve the purpose for which it was crafted. You know, it's sad because a golden opportunity for us to be able to redeem your lost forest, no? And there's a plan to it, and we are willing to speak and to sit at table and deliver that to them. I mean, if today we are engaged, we would give out the plan.
Critical issue by you.
Very critical. And then say omo friend ya be call the person ya de more money. Ya de be more money ya de no na aboa intima. Me wo ma miensa. They will live in the next 30 years, 40 years, and now 50 years. You're called by the natural order. I wouldn't be around in the world. It's me mano omubenyi uma ye nyina ye mano omubenyi a day environment we no better na it anunti na ye so passionate ye person ye boa na Green Ghana Day no ekoni ye
na sa Green Ghana Day no menim say de ye di kan na say ye see adua 5 million trees enua makomako empim pepim no 5 million and sika ye say ye di kodua enua no 12 million Ghana cedis. Tio, yes, you could be near 5 million. And I had this 12 million and they could do. That is Ghana for you. Hey, oh my more dead. In near 5 million, you had the 12 million Ghana cedis. And I idea in near 5 million. And to see a could in near 20 million. They say you had almost 50 million Ghana cedis. And the cocoa do say no. Ghana. I think young share what the air shall say na yakwa no. What can say me who dream me kakra say ya report say the whole world we are singing na amaya e wo kwaye wo ho wo yi Sahara amaya hodo a nnua ni ho na we are singing na Ghana ye na ye no ma wana ye say ye kwaye pa a new sem and when new sempa. Ye kwaye oyi galamso mutumi kwabena mintubi. Show you crime nibi hwibaro minibi. One way to no minimum ho, no masa hyehyam na se yenkwache wo mo, na mo atwa mo aye de ombeye. Ye mra back to Achimota forest ni ehwe. Sa forest na wo ho no. Emfa so ben na yan ye wonkra ha, ye nya wo so. Ye firi ho anafe ya ba, okwa o mafa so ma handle no, se de handle na bepem ne, ene dia ebubo be.
Yeah, I'm say Okan say Yankopon Oyobia say the best scientist, you know, because Oshe if you are seeing now baby a ndua ni no nipa ntumi ntina ho
sure
o hwe deserts ne ade even countries like Dubai omo say the cost of say obetumi atena sa place that enye easy enti nnua no wo ho ema yen nipa no emframa ye home nnua yi ana etumi eyi enema bone ye won from mu a e wo senka ye home no nyankopon ye so intelligent say carbons na yen nipa enye maye no eno na nnua no so use the produce oxygen na yen ye pe no enti ayes a factory carbons na through your activities your operations ne nema ye no your exume call out no ennua no use eno as the raw product to produce the oxygen we need. And you know, that's why you know in the wisdom of whoever made that statement said when the last tree dies, the last man dies. And it's so true. And in way, and yes, omo wo ho ema ye nipa nko a achimota for is ayekin ukọ ho a ubehu emwa bi wo ho a omufie no no e ho yo omufie omoti. So imagine say uti ufie na anope bi obi asoyo the bulldozer aba obubu dan. It's because we don't care about biodiversity. It's part of our lives. But you see, Martinez did research. Now I'm back to a very firm conclusion. Say young Africans, Ghanaians, I'll reduce it to our Ghanaians. A better didn't say a bit developing. Why? And yeah, about economics, and yeah, about all the things we read, and yeah, how we care for God's creation. Programs or amanonia car a tram na squirrel, you know, one time na me wa America ye travel squirrel pro trakwem keke. It caused massive traffic because nipa wa abotre etwen ama opro no odina grow kwan nim ewie ansa na wako uhwe programs no obi adive ko nsu ase na wakofa aboa a oda nsuo mu se oyare na wa be treat no osan ya wi a no asa de ne ko no de na ko tu nsuo no ye de ade anyankopon boy a ode share yensa say we should take dominion and replenish bibini so on the onim sa ade no niema nyame di ya say ni nyina. And until we become deliberate, until say ye be hu say ye say nyankopon say so or the management bi ama ye no e be very very difficult to develop. And yet I don't think say a book near a basic rule say ohwe abrofo the way are almost to me a bo nyankopon abode ho e say amazing ne kraman ne egiramwa Africa ha wa kwakoto kraman kra betu fie no kraman no ma survive I was so no akokko hwehwe ne duane obedi obi ato eyi nantwie so obenye no nantwie no stray so okopede enti yembu niema nyankopon abamaye no enti until say ye ankasa ye behu say look e wo say ye hwesa niema no so ye development ye nya bida me firm believe am wo e wo development any caring because uto eja say wo ma miensa na wo de o properties ahye ba akonsa mo nhwe so ma me tu kwan ba na wo beba na mienu de odi jo mu nyoma say na the next time you want to give something to somebody wo de be ma de ohwe so ye no enti say unto say ye benya saa eyi ni say ye hwe nyankopon abode so ye no de ye kwa
wo kan nyina na madwena be se bibi so say ye emra yenso yenim say eno tin ye war Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, your Ministry of Forestry Commission, and na ye war aso ahodo a wo de nyina ne say wo mo ehwe say ye niam etwa ehu ahia Environmental Protection Agency ene ye nyina ye obi wo ho enti se wo saa aso ahodo nyina wo ho na say wo mo de no so mo bo niam etwa ehu ahia ho ban hwe in 2014 now there was this mining company no mo go to good e wo densu ho na enso nyina nim say densu and the only surviving river serve Greater Accra and afi part of Greater, about 75% of Greater Accra and afi Eastern region Kofuru dia ne Mpotemu enti ye mu bi no me dem so regional pa man kana meboa. And one interesting thing is say state institutions I say so mo na esoro gina ka say da bi ade wo ye mpene ma mo nye no be ko okro mu mfie me densu ewo office ewo Kofuru dia densu ewo office densu so no kwa no office Kofuru dia adwuma aye nsegmefo no emo densu ho ban enti there was this institution si nyina wo ho na wo mu nyina nim sɛdeɛ ɛsɛ so yɛ bɔ yɛ ne metwa ho hia ho ban na yɛ nya de sɛdeɛ sɛ yɛ no no a ɛde na so sɛ science institutions ne yɛ wo
we dey say say a straightforward matter you know say o de adwuma show bi nsa say ya na de o expect say dipa na be yɛ nso ka ho enti say obi ti adwuma mu a wo so yɛ de oyɛ na so nya a nipa dɔɔso o nipa bebre wo kɔ mo pe adwuma yɛ ɔmo nya bi nyɛ enti say obi ya ma no opportunity so nya adwuma akwanya na obɛyɛ adwuma no na so nya de a yɛtumi ma no egyina nkyɛn na de wayɛ ready so obɛyɛ adwuma no ya ma na yɛ say anya ne sadia na business as usual. I mean at the end of the day there are no appraisals obiam follow up in check it whether nipa not position not no or deliver on the KPIs and now we are then at the end of the day no nothing will be achieved because nipa bia no say when to me am fast supervisor we be and see wa obehwe say edwuma no oye no oye no ekwan e wo so oye so a nothing will happen because obeko holiday or in the office, but no, you be before. You know, we need to make sure that our institutions of state, one, resources are needed. I would be a Jumano. I was here the man. The etosumi. I was so munya sa. I who family say a Juma we ye ama ye mine Ghana. Na omo yomoyam aye Jumano a choir. I was so moya na obi obey ni yenu so. I was so mine etumi bona baso. The 1 year ni yenu so. I was see etumi twene sign. Na the obey ni yenu. Your money bets now. I think say Bibia yen Ghana for Nankasa there was see a busa home and me busa me a lot of questions all the time. Say on mine now you see a film a then the air my mind. I am prep you know there's a temptation say oh I buy but I was saying so yana tell the you busa your home sem. Send a bear yen so ya kakra bet me aye edia so on mine as no ye be say ye afemu de na say empenifo na edi anim no am pene dia no wahu say wakoma mu no fine oye say ubeye bibia ma oman ana ma okwan
na yanhwe Achimota Forest a ehun sama sorry say John nsama nsi hun sama ma nanka yemu binum yenim say empempenso a eduru no say yeka say ye wo forest reserve ewo ho a wo hwe niam ahodo asase no se do musi twa ane se do musi ache me wo number of people bi a yesusu se wo mu enim se bibi se ekoso ewo ho wo ma gigigigi acres upon acres upon acres upon acres upon acres ebi 4 acres ebi 10 acres ebi 15 acres enti sa acres ekeka ni nyina boma eye acres bebre impact ben enomo activities se ko ba se bi eja wo mo fa asase na ebenya o forest no so na aka ye nyina
impact there ebenya pa am say impenifo engineers ni surveyors ni ade indua no say o kan ahye no indua hu hia papa flood na ye observe o Ghana nya you see top be 10-15 minutes na baby a flood ni ade ni nya no eye because of concrete jungles say ye cement ni block cement block eno nko an ye enti Achimota Forest buffer zone no in fact Green Republic project one of the key things I say every constituency crown I was saying a buffer zone kakra a greener yeah you bet me a share who so aka say sa area had ye ja na ye de dua nnua enti say there was a buffer zones ni be across the country you can imagine the kind of environment you bet him but ba ko no penu po a wa akra no ana say say under siege na sa forest no so kwa ye flooding e more pollution already your country there one of the most polluted areas ewo Africa and we are see enti sa pollution na cause from cars fumes ne motorbikes ne factories or more activities ne ade no enwe na absorb sa carbons no efi system ni enti se ye nua ni fi ho a ye nipa no emframa enu wo se ye home ko emu no ye na ebe home sa emframa no wo behwe nso a ene yare ahoro bebre and yentumi the source of sayare no I think largely me believe say because ye home inframa boni bebre no say ye home into respiratory diseases are very common ochina you see kidney where you say ochina you see liver just say now every young people are nipa na say or you drunkard and now or smoky chain smoker na no when your friend is saying a kidney problem and now when you liver, a whole lot of things happening in our society. In reality, such motor forest no a lifeline to our deadline in Accra. A very, very strategic, and in the wisdom of Omo GC hono, it was said ye bohu bang. And ya idea was said obi to me, and then to me effort because or what to me. Sir John, me running the sign kakra. He's a very good person, and sa ne will asemunyana. I think say it raises a very important question. Before I ever studio, ana yetie you report amoye ya yesi Eastern region yetie nipa ba ko 3,000 na wakoto aba. Wo hwe sa na ma nyina sometimes no say we a politician na unni sa discipline na I mean you fall prey to that because hwe nipa na Sir John eboom. I know for a fact because I met him on a couple of occasions. The moment within a space of 5 minutes, the number of people who will come crying unto him for help, and yet, obi kra kwa say me to me wesi o me ba monto aba ma me na memra meboa na yemu o man no wo na ye use akoto aba no o gi sika fi nipa no ho to come and serve you na nipa no gi sika ni wi a hwe enkonta obu ye na ya ba 180 thousand cedis 180,000 cedis because ono etu ni wesi wo so opeso osum no wo na obesom no wo so ontua wo saska no no otu wi ahe no ba akofa wo because the salary answer no owo ebusuafo ye society ni so a team no Agya Kwabena say ne ye fa minister wo fa ase wo schoolmate wo asori for obi a wo krom hene obisa wade ne wanya ma na hey because ya dream no e was say ye ko wia oman no ne ye de bre you were a very complex situation a very easy I mean utie commentary e cause wo say John me I was surprised but at the end of the day me analyze the situation me who say ye suban e ka ho and ye pushy your politicians no to do some of them yes
me da say
sika no hen oba akofa
me da say yanko engineer Francis Nate o kan si ho na wakokoye environmental and water resources engineer there ye misa ye hwe environment achi water forest asema ye kan no me sakra na meti say forest bi wa high for na achi water forest esi na mwa wo bibiri na esi bibi na na say me de minu achi water forest akopum bra me bank na mo say eno de fra achi water forest no eboa yen eboa nyama bebre se bebi e yaduru no ye yati e di ehim ne se amanfo e chefa the environment one kan ha your future bi
we dey ne ka edin ene se Achimota forest no anka ye nyina besre ye papa penyin na ekufuado ontwe ni nkrata na wa sanse no ontwe nsan efise wanye saa wa nsana enyama sifa ekọ Ghana ha yebedi hu akasa yembe wie no na ye nyina ye refi enchebe mfi enumechiri no obo nse na afi na ndan no astart se epija wo ho enti se abrofo ne ja saa kwaye yaman ya ese ye bo ho ban na ye due bi ka ho ni enti ankran flood ya ne se menua be ma kan ye misumesi sudua eye nsuo na ho odin a to no na afi concrete na kan ye no ma nsuo no entimi nsone enkofem enti se forest akra ne ho eno so wo soro me kai me yan hwehwemu bi na me wo satellite imagery of incline 1984 na otimi hu incline ne hye and am de to ho satellite imagery of 2014 na hwa na incline ye kese ama na kwakodu Kwabena ne chire ho enti ho no popo no aye adwuma na ye onime bi aye enti saa slope no eye popo no so ho no nwura no ho no sensuo no to wabri popo no so a na take 8 hours anse na do odo but baby a ndan popo slope na ho no e ba ye na ye concrete no saa time mu ache 4 hours pe na nsuo no dum kran
instead of 8 hours say they be dum kran
Aye.
esa se twetwe nua na ya ho cement ne tax
aye tro nti nsuo no to so a tentem no hwim na eko enti bebi a ye nam no enti na sesia no nsuo na eyiri bro yen so no edoso no efise nsuo no bakokra nso ne fam ndua me aya me ka se ya entene ekura se no se okọ school na ewechiri na okọ efuom a nsuo to ade na ya we na o ba o ye den opedua bi asese efise embre kakra na nsuo no beto no bo se o hyedua na so na nsuo no enka ebe che kakra ansa na enti yi dua na sa nsuo na anka be so no sa nsuo nyina uja ma na egu fam enti egu fam nyina na se wa ma nsuo no adoso
se o hwe dua kasiesi wo na so gire dua na se a nsuo no to din pa but na hoɔden na edifi soroba no edu dua no so a ɛyɛ sa hoɔden koro no a na ɛde ba fam ɛso te kora
ɛsone so
ɛsɛ nnua no gye nsuo no dodoɔ no a wɔwiem
ɛgye kakra nti ni ntaban no anyway ni yema ansa bo won safe ugina ho bo won safe ni ɛsoso ne gu so ansa na gu fam nti gu fam a na bebi efi no na kyese aboabo ano a na gogu bonka no mu na kyese ababedu odo ana bibisa enti ndua ne de sesi akra de se ye tremu na ye dua ndua ne bi eka ho ade ne se nsase a ye be yi ato ho for social good ene se school community center park ye ni bisa se real estate for eye kodi krata fi assembly a o mesi ubetwa wani no no ma san ko si dan wo ho enti sesia no nkran nsoyiri na ekoso no ade ehia eya asase enti se enya asase a metimi aka se yenya asase a yebeye abefo niema nkran flooding enjai bi se ewiase ne wo no asase so ne eti bibia ebeye akwan edan bibia nsuo befa ubeye wa asase so enti asase ya de ehu hia pa se yetimi ye nhyehyeye a ebeboa ama esiye enye saa ni ebeye bia obi asora na akosi dan wa ha na akosi wonsuo na no nsuo no kwa na eyira fa dabi enye yesa dabi enti mi sensu sudua se omanpanie Achimota forest japade a eboa nkranfo bebre enti ye de ebesere no opanyi omanpanie besere na anka obetwa ma na san na onwo anwo ye se nyina no wonjai because emboaye pra opopo so enti nye twa pe se na me kan de dada no ebesane hiri enanka ye beba solutions mi nya nkansa anka no sa no ye no woni bi abaye ye kakra basa de no ye memu ha no ye nye sa de no nyimu ane se sisi aye wo filling stations no my concrete nyina sisi a shopping mall aba o my concrete nyina ubisa say nsuo na first na asase ne mem ne dua na eso ano no wo na wa ye sa de no uja nsuo ne gu hin ye mbisa sa de no ye fepo bani se sa sisi a so person ye occasion ade bia wo pe bia green wo ye person ye di eni a ye pe bia ye dua ndua grass ne ye green na we just asase ne ndua wo be de nya enti insase hunu sanu de sisi ade edumbiri a ese ye sase se ye ka assemblies ni grown ni nyina na ahemfo no omo ba ebebo mu na ye sha ase ye jansase na ye nyina bo ho ban se asase we ye jato ho ebeboa yen na ye siesie na ye sade a
ye wase bodo po o kasa no kare ba madwunu se adan ahodo a ye siesie private residence mpo nipa dodo sen na obeko mu fie no magya portion of the land that plot now omo duadua nua na flowers ebi she da ni wa tile ba bia ti dia se yire
se aye abefo ade a adwin shedan techi nye ne se eye yemfe ye no nyema ne yemfe eye yemfa ne ya yesusu se ye but ye womba Ghana mbra wo ho se o fa o site na at least 70 usiu dan na enka 30% a oho be ye notie no wedua grass ana wedua
eye mena wo Ghana ha
ai ye wo ho
50%. If it should, the built-up area should be 50%.
So, and ni na ye mbra e wo ho a assemblies no e so mudi so So mo konko hwehwe ya kwa na ye gosi dan na eno ano no ye nya age permit na so mba ba behwe so wo dan na we si no foundation wa ye ni yie de nye kan ho wa ye feel there be the adwuma no so nipa no so dan no so ba enti me kan bibi me say asase ene na edi kan ese etimi ese yire ye ho papa ya nya sa
ye ja asase no
ene ho nkrata no land title ni ownership no because ohona hodi ni fiba se saade no wonya ni yi a me de nya asase ena nkran yebeti so asase we ebusuan we ni ebusuan we ko ho saade no ese etimi ka ne ma ni si ne se nkran pe e wa Ghana nyina na wo wi a afe ye nuanu a mo wo plan yi na ade surveyors no ni etwitwa asase ni ehu se o ye beje bi amada chimba ene ya ye atasefo nene ya ye de be ye nyema eno na betimi aboa ye enye saade a ede
me da se you're say asante we are surveyor Achimota forest yes oh anya forest ni mu ankasa na ye ko ano no I say who's friends periphery I say obi a o say o me fan shema me broshe o broshe no we the broshe ni eti na kwakwa say ye ne sai say we o me broshe ya ano ha na ne ano we are surveyor Achimota forest ho no mo no ano bi o baby
me da se Jacob na we dey say new bad na
we da Achimota forest egu
Pope Francis Okasembi na de bia me kudin koma ya mpese me de ni kan stupidity is also a gift of God, but we must know how to use it. Stupidity, a gift from God, but how we use stupidity is very important. Na mesamba so na Osha Achimota Forest, I would like to look at from 1921 and 1927. Those days, wouldn't say these areas N1 from saying Joulu, Ablempe, up to Atomic. Achimota Forest. That's the extent of Achimota Forest in the 1921-1927. That is what the historical context that we must put it. Say, you're situating here near the extent of the forest that originally acquired and the purpose for which it was acquired for. Because it was supposed to be a major green belt. Ecological effect and environmental issues. But okay, now the state of the forest now, you will see where we are. The forest that you see there, wetlands, they were all part of Achimota Forest. Gimpa, parts. You see it. Achimota School was also created within it, and to use the forest woods as a means of cooking for the students, so that they be close to nature. That is my first situation. Let us know where Achimota Forest was, how it is today.
I believe
they're all part of it. And in it, you find wetlands that absorb marshy areas. You could drive around that. And these are the sources of our problem for flooding. There are no baskets now. Another area, Tema, Sakumono. You say extend up to Boteman, across the motorway. And that is what is causing the flooding on the motorway because of encroachment. We have to situate it properly and see. Now, my brother said, land is a key issue. And God is not creating more land. Only that man can reclaim land. So we call UAE, if we were, and now call Norwegian countries, they reclaim. But God is not going to add an inch to land. It's land, we have to hold it like an egg. And anything that we do in this world depends on the land that we stay on. But, we have become so stupid. That's where I'm coming from, Pope Francis. We are not managing stupidity very well in this country. Now, the sad aspect of it is One a grab land in and one we are ordinary people. They are supposed to be the intelligentsia, the leaders, so called, of this country. And now the answer is some have got so many houses that they don't need that land. But because it has come to them, they want to partake. That is where we must know that what is then wrong with us as a country. That question must be addressed. What is wrong with us as a country?
Somehow can you say one way away? Na come see maybe surpass. You feel the class of people are omudiya ba you see insase omajibi. Any sika kora no mom to assassin. It be as little as 9,800 Ghana cedis for about 4 acres of land. And with that prime area. Auntie, you were as auntie. A trimodin, a your boapayo, a year a dufudipe, a year day and a beck nipa say, Yenya to me, that ye did to me no, a bayene may be a soon so son, a beck nipa pim baby, a year there.
Extreme greediness. We are very, very greedy. And it's a be no best satisfying. And at times I sit down, I think people will not die. I see people, if you are dealing with somebody on some of these things, he will act in such a manner because no who is going to even manage those things? He has not thought about it. Yeah. But he wants to grab it for other people. And this is what we need a national consensus on. Where do you want to take this country? Where? And even a person at Ghana. He said the Ghana. It's a I say, me to me, it's leadership. It's leadership. Issues are all kind about companies. We run them in this country near the. You see that clearly this man is not running this company, but he's still there. He's there because he's well connected. A country that believes in contact, not competence, we are in trouble. We are in absolute trouble. What if I'm saying, what have we need electricity based on their way? Have we sat down to look at the expenditure aspect of their lives in these companies? What are their salary levels? Are their productivity clear with whatever the outputs? Who are publishing who are not about 80,000 a month in a distressed company? Why do we do that to ourselves as a country? You see clearly who be who say subject matter no krontiase, but he's a managing director. He's a managing director. What did they argue? Not so who superior argument than him. Nani bofu. Go away. He will cut you off. Proposal they are kono or they are mobi. No one answering you say, oh, you are the best person who can assist that person with their money not to do it. How do we do that? Where are we heading towards? We must be serious as a country. The issue here to be is clearly leadership. And I believe that Nana Akufo-Addo will show leadership in this matter so that Achimota Forest can we can protect it.
Would you say a woman so a 12 billion
that is the only option. That is the only option. Now, my problem is that some of what they call periphery have already been developed. If you look at the extent of Achimota Forest, that one we can sit down, mark them out, and then they are carrying. But Obia will tell you, so that we can re-green the place. We can do that.
Also, I'm watching you live from Akrokari on Fanidi Amausi. I love your show. This is Jinia Khalifa. Miss Emmanuel is watching live from Finland. Good job. Yeah, that's Finland for you now. I go on Juliana say I'm watching you live. Lucy T okay. Raymond Osebu so Kwabena it is not a big deal planting 5 million trees at 12 million Ghana cedis because the cost per tree is 2 cedis 40 pesos. So how costly was the venture? Please, we should look at the real facts and not make it look like everyone is squandering our money at every turn. So I say Diaba could be 2 cedis 40 pesos. This year 5 million now a saying pono. If I say be a 10 million in 90 full and any money in soon. And I can't 12 million. That's it. Farouk or Tamale, or say Tamale North, good morning. From Tamale North, good morning to you all. Seriously, the Achimota Forest saga has exposed the dubious and illegal activities some politicians involve themselves in when power is given to them. Never again should we have wicked politicians in government. Thomas Bar, or say I'm Thomas Bar from Takoradi. Good job, Agya. Thomas, that's it. And Faustina Azika, or say good morning, Agya. Come to Shiashi station to Accra, and see. Because of greedy, they've cut off all the trees planted by Nkrumah by the road to Kasapreku apartment, and Alaji is selling. Okay. Alaji is selling cars. On so you train you know holding no for say you training na.
I don't think green belt along the motorway.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yes.
It was rezoned.
Yes.
Rezoned and then look at it. So,
Yes.
the mess.
Yes. That's what I remember. Any fee for occupancy, I got in a common estate. It's na my sister who see the fee or domi. It's a fast spin test nearby. That time, you know. Now, I think about super people product. Is it down? African concrete products, Coca-Cola, and I'm saying now it's about 5 warehouses. I'm saying companies bear 3, 4.
In a tube.
And in a tube. It is here by the speed. It's a swamp. No green. So I know who back. That was 1989. I bet people next say you know. What
you were saying right?
Yeah,
they destroy a forest at a faster rate.
Fastest rate.
We have to be very careful.
And see, you're not sure no partner.
Na me person me can bibi kakra fa periphery no ho. Say owo forest and any ecological zone biana. Unkon ko hia no preko pese.
Any so boom
there. Tembia ya wo bibi a friend transition zone. Bibi a yen kakra be mo akwa aduo. Na se ye hwe ne honorable minister kan ye na. Nkran asase enye kwaye. Eye sre ene tickets ni sa nya onima. Ubenya mango. Ubenya nim tree. Aha, ena nyame kan ye no. Any quiet one casancasa. And any Ndiaba was assassin so. Into this a would be answer when now quiet no one can assassin so. Aha, anti Nyayam catcher a month for any say. Oko Legon, a school pony. Osho campus na F. Won't be a cassia, but she VC Lodge no, Netiho. Ring road na. Wooden names kind of say hachu. I don't call gimpa hon or hot any vegetation near hon. Won't say no yet then. And you're quiet. A ticket. Aha. And she say there's one about politicians now. Miss so many bought young cratch for. We saw Bruni see school in 1948 to BNB. Who can it you honor? You near alcohol and Johnny did I see a ticket. And you need a natural vegetation.
And you want a monkey's one. Because I can't remember give power the car company monkeys in
the only natural vegetation. To see if it's a monpe encroachment in the only your horse assassin and a new honor or quite Emma. Where is Rome?
No, you have raised a major issue.
Yeah.
Major issue of young human beings. And supposedly well educated people.
Yeah.
The politicians are there. But we, professionals and we're supposed to see to doing right things. We don't do them. We have to also look at ourselves. And that's a major issue that you've raised. Just say, yeah, I don't know. Obronia Onofia, way back in 1921, I realized how the capital never back. There will be the need to preserve some greens for the human being. Now, 62 years down the line, you destroy the mina. What are we heading towards?
I'm saying maybe we point here in painful reason. Apart from the politicians and the academics and the highly educated people, I think the church has also gotten a very huge responsibility to bear. And then we do, I think the mayor of page 28 are now Christian Council of Ghana, and admonish, the church to also contribute to the environment and humanity. And I would like to quote something that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said about the church. My role model, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. I model my life after him. And quote, the church must be reminded that it is not the master or the servant of the state, but rather the conscience of the state. It must be the guide and the critic of the state, and never its tool. If the church does not recapture its prophetic zeal, it will become an irrelevant social club without moral or spiritual authority. And he said this in, I think, 1963, maybe. Now, we belong somewhere. Traditional way, a form of religion. It was say it to me change the way I was say about your bra efa. Meaning say Islam no enua a very key. Obi odu enua bia ni share Islam recognize that the Bible and so enua several times. Even so Garden of Eden say enua e ho na ewia se nya ahye start here. Na ro ben ana asori no play to make sure say your core responsibility and upon the mind or say take dominion and replenish the earth. Are we replenishing? And we are better in mini water estate enclave na your area yeti ufi efia to First Junction. All you see are mango trees, neem trees. Now we had so many ecological biodiversity. Just say snails ni enyebi ekofo be na ekofo de nkrama etwam wo mkochi ekusie ni nkrante enne all those areas gone. Na say ye mpo a ye ndua bi nso enu nso no ye ndua obi ato asase a the first thing obeya ne say obe clear asase ni so nyina o nya dua ba kokora because obesi concrete enti e wo say asori no nso ede sa environment sem nya eka ni preach na o preach ho enye only about Christ came to die and resurrected. We should also be interested in making sure, say, in sorry manu, be responsible to the earth that God bequeathed to us, because we are supposed to care for God's creation. Inti sadi ma we nyana enkanfo ano eno na be ma yakọ yanim. Na yanya ne sa na ase bibia yeja. Ti say me wa fa kan na ye hwe politician no say ono na oti wonti ono be na yen wa ofie efie a otim no wa cement bebia izoto na ekose flooding. In fact, mature peace be and may call on the authorities say the authorities must come up with a tax or a fine for every institution or home concretizing the entire space. Now, if we are able to put in place such a measure, na ye didn't cry na ye we will not even need facilities to be, building drainages and all that, because and then estate BMO, almost every household a third completely. In the area I live in coastal estates, baby I remember if you know that is how it was before I moved in there. Baby a third into the moment you show better within 5 minutes now baby are flooding. If that is the case, as I said that we need to manage stupidity. Say yen to me a yen nipa fe say obey ni baby a concrete there. Yen manage our stupidity by putting a fine. Say okay, we won't stop you from doing that because you are creating a bigger problem for the collective. Yes. And obey are there fine to do that, and then that fine can be put in a consolidated fund. A whole and a buying the first car, ye drainages. ni ye hu say at least ye nkonkoje besia na emo ya manage stupidity no e dey raise ska se na be ya ye de be ye enema we a ye keke
o can say me say emra wo man mu che say wo to asase kra na obesi dan a portion of the land no one plot na wato na say emra ne say uja na wo de ho ye green wo say flowers no be do say de na be do ene ye wo sika pa na ye te wo na ye bre yo say emra na wo ho ene wakoto asase no bu mu na no so enti ye ko house to house na say ye pesika pa ye benya bebre to media ye say
no me can management of stupidity. Because the issue is say omo ka okoje permit. This calculation must be the first one to be done. Your built area no against the population areas around. You have to establish it. If it is less than 50%, then they should institute. And that's why I talk about sanctioning regime in this country. We don't. The few countries are Mako. Ghana na epacho pa. Obiye bonia epacho. But here we have to learn certain things. Now you raise an issue. The church, very African traditional religion, and our traditional rules. We had our own systems of running these forests. With our the traditional systems, you know. There were times I want to make tell me how all these things were there. But where are they?
Wisdom.
Make I Jesus na ba ku be say o your friend kum kansan. You say e busum bi na o wo kwaye no mu na o ne na ba ku ya da de sen na ba ku ye waduro. Nti waduro ni si fam na ye kum. Na da de sen ni si fam na ye kansan. Isa kum kansan no you say there was specific day ayo opie inside no bi ankokwa ye mu bi ankwafu mu nti bi wura we dey say be twa wano keke mu keke
we were able to manage all these things, but in our current form, and I think I may have to congratulate the Despite Group, who said, and I told TV Africa 2 weeks ago, Ishuba, MPP, NDC, no no professional MP, nothing. But I've observed them, despite for no, especially Kwabena kind program, academics, people with knowledge, people with experience, they will come and talk about it. And that is what is also dividing the country. We have bottled the whole country for politicians. They don't care about your professional input. Your advice, it doesn't mean anything to them. Because they will tell you this politics, who can do anything you want. You can't do anything. We voted you there. We should look at also how our politics is going. And tell the people in the face, yes, power resides in us, not them. One annoying thing is, if you have the traffic, quietly, then I voted for you, so I should give you a way to go. It's high time we tell the politicians that we put them there. Now, yes, young Crawford, and they be a media mechanic. Oh, then you won't go into politics. Those who go, they want to do anything. So we must re-examine ourselves and then take it up. Otherwise,
Nini, sir, good morning, sir. I'm very happy that you are discussing these issues today. We are not serious as a country and the government as well. I work at Forestry Commission, Eco Park, Achimota Forest, under the Youth Afforestation, and the afforestation. And I'm telling you that trees we planted during Green Ghana program last year are all dead because no watering on the plant for yes. They say one year allowance no. Oh, allowance kwa mo ntua ma. Unti say onipa na ono no call sa afforestation no ko duduan kra no say obetumi ka esu dua pen say enua ni nyina ewu allowance say so de mo kra so yamfa ama wo mo. I see. Na Abraham Kulu or say you are all your panels are making great points and the young man among them is great. I really love the Green Ghana the great education and the awareness they are raising in their submissions. ye muamu ani nyina na abesu nsuyire aso say bam engineer ye su asemi any say dey see yire your videos be bere wo ho a Randy me de baku bi mama sisi ya na ye hwese betumi aye no so a taxi o nipa nitimu a wa paniko se na so de na eko enya brochiri ga na he ya ye be yi visuals be bere na yetumi ahwese ye nim se so ato yiri e wo ga na ha mfie bi abese nko bebere ni but wo share level a eko sisi no a ati say
mo se me sha ase ne me ka se niema nsuo yiri ne ba ne eye nsuo na eto no ene na edi kan ene ni dodo enyi se nsuo no nto ya obi nyina ti ho kama na afa nsuo na ahya se eto ebeto kakra ye nya asem afa asase no sunson nsuo no nyina bon sa afa nsuo no to bio no na che se ayeden ejira fa yen so afa so se me twem adwen ko 2015 nsuo ni bo ha ne to no aya na eye dodo eno de me engineer semi free wan eno no me ntimi nya ho hwe so hwe sada na airport state rain station no record 263 millimeters of rainfall within 12 hours but do na happen within 6 hours na in kind the whole year nsuo eto won kan ye kan nyina bomu a around 700 to 800 millimeters of rainfall. And that means that sada no 2015 no a quarter of a year's rainfall and a hwiegu nkran asase so. And then the engine a yiri fa ye nyina. And no nsuo bi sa ne de. Untimi nya ho hwe. Na sesi nsuo na eto no nsuo kitten. Na nyema ne basa ne se nsuo no enya bebi mfa. Bebi esi yen dan no yen siesie ho ansa aya me ka kire am nuanom se ukọja asase a nkwan ukakọja asase ni ndua ene asase ne wo ho no akakosi udan ebia ya fa engineer se onya drainage obeye drainage no ono ye no obedwen se o edan ba ko ne wo ho enkosi 5 years no edan ne dodo se ene beba no aye drainage na ye gata no ba ye beti eni no na endan na abeba ho no te se na isisi aye infill no na akodoso nso bebi ansu be fa no ya nya ho hwe aha nti aya mususu boy so bo se ye na ya enye ye na ya she da aye small drains ne ye no ye design ye emma nyema na wo ho no basisi na nyema na e ba so no abro so nso ye si ni foforo no ya ndwe eno anka ho so enti ne ebetimi amaya so ade ya no ye nsuo no a eba na eto no enamfam enti ne edi kan abrafo se ye wo give way to the river give way to the stream bebi ansuo ni nam no ye mani kwan no nko ye wonsuo a eto daada ye wonsuo a ye fe no eye bank full eno ne ye terms ni bi by 1 in 2 year rainfall aha near our flood line baby ansuo dodo a ensuo no efa bonkan mu abetre akọ oho ni nyina no ye national special planning framework policy framework 2015 eyi green belts any blue belts you got say blue belt aye baby ansuo fa na green ye baby andua no vegetation no wo ye yi sa nyema ni nyina bi say assembly ben ene wo ho a mofa sakrata yi e de ye ejuma bi ani ho sa eda ministry ho na say ya ye ne kama then is one ye ma ye kama sa so so enti say ya sorry na ye nya say na me wo fa kan ye leadership on man no ye penisen say ne ye pon man no then ye mbutaye ye pese da hwehwensuo yi a eyiri fa ni pei an ye pese da afi bia ni abetena ha minya no penifu kan so yenti minya ho hwe ba mo aba sha ase kakra eye odo basin no was started garage eye Greater Accra resilience integrated development project bisa eno no ebe so nsuo na no na de ba ko pa ho be ye bibi e fe no retention basins ene ne ye sinks ni bia me wo fa kan ya no be bia nsuo no to a ekoso kakra aha ansa na nupo no ese yetimi yenya be 6 basins 2 penny yenya because sasi ni ho a ye de ni aka ne be hye ne mi gidi so is omo project no so mo go so hwehwe nsase a mo be de sa basins ibesi enti sa nsase semi se nsase ya na eti so eno a na ebedidi so eno a na edi be yen ka akwan eno a edi be yen bibia enti se yama yeni anko yen nsase ho nsem flooding mitigation nsase ene edi be so ano enti se yanye ho yen ofe ne nsi ho anka ho asem yi a flooding ye ekosi ebe ye won say sisi aye west ebe ye west crossing say
asem a okay na wokasa be west asin say na say ye wasem bo ne popa wo
no kre
yanhwe ade ba ko amahye no so ana yehwe say bibia yesi dan ankasa sebe mi nyini bebre ba nyini kakra emi ahodo amako nyina menim say if ye kurase kura tu kura no aha ye bobo ha ye park aha ye market aha ye post office aha ye schools aha ye say ntino o ma cheche ba bia ni silicity ene enkran ha ahefa ene ye twade ato wo say aha aye bebia ye bobo aha ye bebia eye market aha ye community bia ne market community bia ne bebia omo aye say park ha ye bobo ene bibisa ho ye sisi adan ewo ho nyina enti no ye de na sese ye na ye de awura mu aba oka MCs DCs for one asemi DC ni ye de tumi ni nyina ma ne say district no o man pani tumi no o de ahye you instruct I'm a man pani be instruct from castle na na say Flagstaff house no be tumi ani pepepe. Does he have to take the president to tell people say MMDCs be so a work kwan mu no munwiri ni nyina dan yes so be so fa no does he have to take the president to do that?
No, not at all. Say Omar we know president I think say the most difficult thing I think about anywhere in the world because I say bibia ye bia no ye need da nipa ba ko peso say ono na onwene ma ye nyina na the president only one individual. Inti say ye nyina ye chefa ye wo wo say ye no see ye tumi ye na ye hu say ade we na wo say me ye eboa me man ebeboa say wo kan about a playgrounds ni ade ye nyi na tashi no wa area ho baby ye bobo bebre wo fa ha asase da ho ye bobo within just say after a short while ube koda ye twa ho na edan koso ho even where and I've always stated say kromu ha yenye child friendly because encraba no now omadane indoor kids omu ni baby omukọ covid iba na me makra no omo ho kwa mmobo because utumu say why frustrated otifa akosa na ebia ne tablet bi ana obebe ni homework ewie no ahwe bibi kakra wo so spaces and kra be ko akodi agro kra no as oman no ye enye part of our plans the only children's park ayewo if was Sutherland's children's park look at the state in which it is
akokra ye nya ne tie se amanfo yes o Ghana de yes ba na se no kra bi ye pia mu ano no yes gran ya baso
yo
amanfo ya
Nana the issue is say yes any laws we have the laws special planning laws called National Development Planning Commission. You see, we used to call it town and country planning.
Yeah.
Now it's the special planning of LUSA. They are there. The planners are the first to go to any virgin place. Omukwa, ebe school, ebe market, ebe then the land surveyor will go into demarcate and then allocate. Then we can start. But the process is ownership of land in this country. Ownership of is either in families, schools, traditional, a whole lot of. And the acquisition by the government now has been also limited by the constitution. And the same people went and wrote the constitution, where government acquired lands should be returned to their owners if they have no use for it. Where ownership comes, no, the person picks any professional, or like also a land surveyor. I could not know him who are demarcating land. That is one area that we have to look. The land administration in this country. We have to look at that.
Share taxi I na make wahu oti taxi no mo wahu ana so ana so no dey na ko
we need to also now
nobody can also help you.
No maybe no way they will find one to help you.
Nobody can help you. No. See, the history of flats there, in fact, if you look at it in old days, no, when flats come out, people go to highlands, wait for it to subside and they come back. Then industrialization came in, came to create a lot of problems. And then the natural regime of pressures on land and all those things came in. And so this is where we are, where we have built in such a way that even Sotokra cannot permit into the earth.
Obi the message there ba o say Agya come and see Glefe Dansuma Glefe Lagoon. They are filling it with rubbish and it's causing flood. And today say baby a waterlogged areas nyina. Oko Dansuma say Liberty down ho pa. Ho afro pa ne yenuanom agegefui abeji fili ho nyina de asidan. Uko Pambros. Eho no mo so bebi ananka ye afro. Ise ho so ma fon di nyina. Enti between it's a ho na cop dance just say wo mo fili ho nyina de asidan. Eden na ekire yen so man. Eden na ekire yen.
I think say you're deliberate enough. Me feel say adi bia o de besi we ni so say o pese o ye no. I was say we are deliberate, intentional. I was say very intentional. Me nim say be kan wo twim. But I was say you tumi say
wo si wo bosa obeye.
Wo say adi we ana me. Na o ye intentional a de edidi su ni nyina no. Bibia align because already know why you focus, why you intentional say oh every area mewa children's playground or every area was say minya green buffer zone. Now yet to me intentional about this we will be able to deal with these challenges. But the whole thing they say you're very intentional about things. Yet I say I didn't buy a tea ane akoye kiki. Even maintaining the status quo. I didn't not cry si one. Say you be share sumpo ni hu sa de we a be 15 years 20 years. I was say afibia me ye say e de boa say na be I didn't know ense no debi. You're intentional about anything. You to me the be fair ya de beba 1 year 2 years na a professor Becca with
some
once unless say you be intentional we cannot really achieve much.
Oba Pa Francis Esiem ono on a year CEO Edema Ghana Sirida Manufacturing Company. Or say good morning Agya. Or say let us stop the unnecessary discourse. Public service demands fiduciary relationship with our institution, organization, and etc. We should always remember the litmus test and the day of reckoning and accountability. We may make mistakes, but whatever will constitute conflict of interest and corrupt practices must be avoided. The same people who influence and push you to the periphery are the same people who will shout crucify you in the day of problems amidst the maze of confusion. My humble take for this public officials is let us rise up above ourselves and put Ghana first. Let the only say in Ghana politics rest in peace as investigations are underway. Remind your esteemed panelists that it is a symbiotic relationship and we are all a part of the problem. The giver and the taker, the chopper and the chopped. Hey, I'm a Ghana. Ome bro, ajinyame. Agya, I urge you all and Sandri to do our bit in national interest. And no day Latin be by Latin the working. Oba Pa Francis Kwabena Esiem.
Oh, okay, that lady.
Yes. Me do the abeni.
Very, very.
Say, maybe I do. We are faced with the problem. You try mu time. I say, woko baby na we share aboa bi a onya wo bechew. You face to face. Owo ne nkwankwanta na ujira. Nti ho na sese wo so to bedwe ne fast. Wo think fast. Na tumi ye bibi se na be either sa aboa no wo beku no ana nso se okwan befa so a wo bedwane. Baby ye dro engineer. Idea pa na sese ye se oman. Esa so wo ka asem be ye mo him o baby. Wo se se de ehu ye no comedies. Ebeba more pa. Se beba more dia. Meaning say something drastic needs to be done as early as possible. Ye be den.
Ni edi kan aban wo nhyehyɛ ne nkrata bebree ɛwɔ hɔ. Your national rain harvesting strategy any other integrated water management policies ɛwɔ hɔ. A ni nyina ye ka bɔ mu a ebetima boa yama ade na ye nkakra se me so me fan kakra emebom ema na nye kese enti aya ye se ne pe slogans no ye fra bibi policy na ye de bestimi esiesie no ye fra bibi structural and non structural ene se ese ye wo ye nhyehyeye se building code ne ye wo no ye se ja efa ni bi na enye green ese ye timi eye we ehwe se saade no eye adwuma enti yesi nya policies a ehwe saade no afi ne eto echiri ne eto so biom eye non structural structural eye nyema ye be ya ebetimi ama nsuo na eyiri no abrafem drainage no ye kan eno nye gata no nko a o se na meka no wetlands ne sa podo ni nyina ka ho bi enti but unse ni nyina ya asase enu bi so ne ya feel you enti se yenja asase no anto ho ana yenyi ni kwan ya anto ho a ebe ye din amaye enti oho no your slogan bi e ka say 4S you say 4S ne ye store wo be bia nsuo ni a pacho tete no kwa kwapema your rain harvesting system wo ho eso nsuo na no kakra dodo no and afi a delay time no enti say store the water 2 sink s baako mansuo no ofie no kakra enkofem afi ne etoso biom say slow the water enkoboko enti nsuo no me the pictures bi batem say intima nye ho adwuma okọ osudoku hospital na dodo wana omaye bibi sa kama enti channel a ye hunu say gota no bo say boulders wo identity of the boulders egum because e poposo enti nsuo no to ade na ho odin beba omo pese nsuo ni na ho odin ne ban tentem sa enti your examples were ha you betimi eyusu okọ Legon hospital your bibi a friend is swales eye gota ye de grass na ye Herbalife for ni chi hokra e wo East Legon meaning say what twani afa hopen a Herbalife East Legon Emmanuel clinic insu ato nkran na omo e kan say
omo drains na
grass enti anyway
enso ne ta enso
there be
mane nkofa
and road but ube ni me fa ni ma ho ne odo de o se concrete ni nyina yi enti ye one nature based solutions a eno so kwa
ye to be nyam fa sa baby a okay nyina
ye betimi aye ni say be si nya adwen
deliberate
ye be si nya adwen say ye hu se aye mi gidi say o ye no nim sa so abeboa papa o hotem bia nsuo kese ato nkran nyina senate a neti asisi am friend no oko Europe am friend nature based solutions oko America make say low impact development and green infrastructure enti
engineer what dey hwe alajo bejo drains omo ye alajo look at all the slabs all coming off no maintenance but if we were able to do it that way we would have resolved some at a much cheaper price
cost by engineering
but the whole issue ni na Kwabena is our attitude. Attitude. We are blatantly indisciplined in this country. Maintenance is not in our culture. Eti Emma, if you are preferring any solutions, you have to think of the human being and his attitude. If I tell you, what's a quantity surveyor? If I tell you the cost of indiscipline in construction work, you'll be surprised. Share a road like Kaneshi Market. Do you think that reinforcement, this reinforced concrete, requires so many miles? Because of indiscipline. That's why we have to erect that barrier. And that's the cost of indiscipline. So that's one. The second issue that we have to look at is enforcement of our laws and application of sanctions. The laws are there. To me, we don't need more laws in this country again. Then we sanction people so that they won't come back to what they are doing. Then 3, engineers, designs. That one there, we'll talk about it at the appropriate time. Then, this indiscipline, the cover silt, any debris, instead of using drains to be for water, then it becomes a receptacle for boiler. Drains, we have to look at that. Then, what I call disorderly development in this country. Because landowners or not ton and the people build before we extend services, roads, drains. Over here, baby, we new roads. It won't be free, no. Because we didn't take into account the various levels, no. It's a very new road, no. Not drain town. And if you in the coffin, it is so top. Meanwhile, a concrete compound. It is so to a receptacle for water. Then he will tell you, government come and save me, or government save me. So, this disorderly development, shoddy construction works, and all those issues must be looked at it. Then land litigation. See, you're wrong. You're in them. Whatever that law, we don't know. So, I think these are some of the things that we can do.
Will it be out of order? Say, you best sign resurveying and rezoning of Nkranha. Say, see, then say, you best sign question. Say, there be a high nank, say, you do in the faha. Naka, and the infant for her. Next, when the Fantino say, when I see the funny infant for no be seen down there, be done with city.
In fact,
can we able to me
engineering solutions? And there are so many options. Engineering solutions are personally. Waterways near the Yemu, I don't subscribe to that. There should be an engineering solution. And the engineers have the solution to it, but only that it will be very expensive for that person. And then the options come. Yemu then Yemu. Announce it solve, then you pay for it. And we will see that most of the people will even go and borrow and come and solve the problem and keep it house. But because our engineers first say, people cannot, they only say any mukobumwe. And one thing that is also happening in this country, you mentioned it, is for whole regional minister to be leading when MCs, DCs are there. Then the regional minister or the president. I mean, these are things that they have delegated authority to them, but they don't use them. MC if we not in V8 to say, so when you ground come the flag we see can so na this is MC coming.
Honorable.
Okay, be count say I was say a month for we should be responsible. I was say to me responsible to ourselves. Now the least thing then into obian taking responsibility for their own actions. Otu fie gata da fie nenim gata no si when it ya actions na ma gata no si and yet or train
to be baba
and the baba catch say onyi ono ani fie gata na e wo ho no obi kosi dan say na okay dan so ma ho we si wo water we unim very well because okokofa anwea ne baller ebe fele ansa na wo si dan no. And so, Sir President Ama Odei, the next thing that happens is politics. And you better wait out. You better. Bini ye galam say say ye forester. Oh yeah, oh can officer of fixing. Na obi so the year politics. I say ye be bia I was say ye politics. Inti yes it ties the hands of our leaders sometimes.
Yeah, totally. That's what
I tell my husband, because totally. At the end of the day, I've been power wow person the bibi no. A man for na be resist this I no person ye no. Just for their own selfish interest. Owia no asan akọ blame sa nipa kro na.
I don't know about him Francis Esiam the buy. Or say the obeka so ukwa achimota for sa no na sase bi oho. Ona kotobi na so didi odo na akokoto oko so mu ya na say so won say wonya tumi to water
exactly challenge yen nipa na ye wo man nu yen so yen nya sa yen say yen so ye wo a role I was see play responsibility ye pe when ye de bia ye point accusing fingers na ye jaye ho but nipa na ye come say me omo nyina omo kan ho ye set values ni name e wo ho no ana e mold this anipa no ama mo be the way omo ye no. For instance, my memory example some years back this teacher training allowance was said you had a former president say oh ye be twem or prefer bibi say ye be loan to say the university for the loan now or this how the way by me I sat and read through it. I thought okay, it makes some sense. But the man was muscled by nipana the campaigner. Now, ya dena sikane ebi ni ho. Now chimupo papa say meboa me amanfo. But sa nipana oboa na usika delay 1 month, 2 months. Ade amode be ye government no. And so na adwempa ana opeso eden ode boa. But Sandy Pana Abesen region, ye near Juma, okay, and the young bibi to say, your friend is saying, dear, a bar and saying, Napo, Naya Mao 700 at the end of the month, bibi Kakatu.
I got the experience.
But when the thing goes a bit challenged, the kind of a Nipana or benefiting from such space, no, Ebesa Kafa Nipana, what dream who say, oh, I do Ubet if you can educate and yard. I say, Bibia ye we should stop thinking about our stomachs. Ye fu no here too much. I was say ye generational. Ye mana ya wo no, and then future mu no mo betna. Na ye nhya ye ho so kakra, na ye ntumi and thinking long term, na ye nya niam e be boa ye ankasa at the end of the day. Enya aban ntumi nye bibia wo wi aso ya aman. Ye citizens na e wo man ni mu no, we also have a role to play. And we have to play that role. And yes, need two politicians. So politicians, omododo saying, come have 30 million politicians. Omododo saying, oh, government, ne parliament, ne a parliament, judicial, ne one omo saying. And so you resigning your fate into the hands of those people. Inti so big will be big crowd between a year at the abuane maya on yet
or train politician.
Not or train politician. O koyenso not a politician be hijack men jai kosuna yet kakra between. They said they make a green gun. I'm still doing it. Me yep kakrana me to me as a citizen of this country. No, I'm doing it. I'm not looking at anybody.
Yeah, Kainina, no. It's not. I used to say politicians are not so. I can be. As I say, I believe I would be, but yes, leadership. Senior and Ura says anti kind of leadership. It is if the leader is going this way, not on any 1 year can win air corner say ya. What words they know to mean say that because everybody is going to the direction leader no air corner. Yen fa ne say bi obi ya de bi o wadwen bi ni situation obi tumi de aboa me de we twam karakake got a drainage system odo river ya eda he ya afi bia ye bo katiti mu obi by say or the nim de ba Ibrahim Mahama
yes
e by say ono so ni nim de owo no ono so e de be boanti no e betumi nya local government equipment si bi ni de atete gata yi mu hwada pa Ghana future no hwe sopa ya sopa ya ka ma ne du baby na afa akokọ say da bi me na me de manim de ne ma ho de ne me fidie ane ka ko ma ne de kakra be ye ne free na samo so mo pede a ene me jai enti ye hwe the kind of politicization of everything.
And that's why I was congratulating you people. Because now your discussions are tailored towards resolving the problem with the right minds. Yeah. Instead of other stations, issue need to flooding, MPP, NDC, MPP. At the end of the discussion, nothing comes out. So, although the engineers will tell you, there were types of flooding. Although the fluvia, where it's a water course issue, and your pluvia, where water table issues come in and the rest. There are so many of them. They are technical enough. Say we don't want to go there. It's very right. Say Ibrahim Mahama would have been able to go. He had the machines at that time. Those days, Aname was State Construction Corporation. We had a permanent equipment on the Odo. Every day since 1980. I think they removed it in 1992 or so, but it was always there. Then be an team. Then be an team. And then said during rainy season. And because of their presence, then microphone to me so fridge in Kotum. On to me so time Kotum. We go to car. No, I could dispose of car now. I go down. This is what we do to ourselves.
Engineer.
Oh, Minya.
I've heard maybe some family.
See idea. We can send a dance you no toy. Baby anka first no na anka fly eyiri no sisi ano. Onyina eyiri ne chese. You were born bo. You were born papa. But enye se e pa ba your school pon in the four.
Oh,
ni hia ni say den ye hwehwe se oman. Enti ni e besre se ni odi yen kan no. Ondi yen kan no nkyere en se na mpese yeko. Me pese Accra eye green. Anama we na me too. Enti munsom yen kono sa. Se pese Accra nsase. Yetimi ja nsase ma dachi mafo. Se sia no ukọ new me de tie adabraka. Mamprobi. Latebi okoshi. Abrofo no na bu aye ma ye ho. Me nka se ho dan ni eye kama. Ba de hwe ho layout no. On se na tie. Na afi ba motorway echi. Kwashima. Malam. Ho te sen. Nia yen ankasa ya ye no. Nia yen ankasa ya ye no. Enti besin de ne die. E ban sa asesem ene se na ye chichen sa ase na ye yi e ho hyehye na. Me nua no me ya dwen se enkoye. Because nia yen abeye no ene Kwashima etiri ho no Malam Madina Adenta. Ekwan no kwa bebi bon say 20 feet. Uko enu kakra 30 feet. O na obi dan bi block we na ene nia yen aye. But yen susu say koso sa. Enti wana na ebe. Wana na ba bedi yen kan. Eno na yehwe sisi a. Enti enya ni obedi yen kan na. Ye ni difo bebre wo ho. Kan bom action committee. Say na hwehwe. O ma mo mandate. 3 months. Mo famra ni ehu se na ye tete nyama no. Na ye nyina ye di enti because ye woni ndifo a umetimi akoma aduan bom a aboa yen amase edi ometi a ye betimi asesa nyama. Ye betimi aye.
Me da say Frederick Kisa Oseja, the blame must be put on the doorstep of the president because he's too lenient on the MMDCs and the MMDCs. Nana do Brimpon say, please, this country has no future. Based on what is going on in Ghana, I guess the day I voted to elect leaders of the country. Bad governance has jeopardized the economy, security, education, forestry, and migration. Now, Achimota Forest has sold out to, the late Sir John and other people. Why? Ghana. Why? So we are also crying for our future because what the leaders are doing today, I tell the government to protect our resources for resources, please. We can't take any more from those politicians. Amano reason, Oseja, please, those who are claiming that they own land within the Achimota Forest, whom do they pay their money to and sign their papers? This is something we need to know. Secondly, how can a problem could be identified but it can't be solved?
Exactly.
Our panel members are all on point, all points at a problem as human factors, but not solution yet. Let President, I say, so the kind of suggestions about okay Kwame or say Agya Kwabena, we can't blame MMDA's match. This is because local government service staff are not paid well. Okay, and all your panel members are aware of it, but they don't talk about it. Obi can one can suit you one. Next, until no so need the abano. And say Game Boy will say me I stopped singing that song, General Assassini, because I realized that the lands belong to few people. Power. Entina eno madam wasipi na no pay say mu dem mre echeyen na yebedi enkomo de otimini fa so pay say medical kan no ye friend no nana ya wo say dakwa ono e convener e di ma the Green Republic project Green Ghana no ono na ehihye na fe surveyor Kwadwo Henry Osei Asante or senior policy advisor Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry ono no tie chiro po shekiki no ana fe engineer Francis Nate or Kansi or environmental and water resources engineer and also member Ghana Institute of Engineering e da mase papa pase munya breba na me so am from Agya Kwabena na mo kakra bi na meka ansa na ya sori ya twi ye mutan aha ene ye dia yesi akokɔ onfere ni buo akokɔ onfere ni buo so jane na gum se den o de buo no enwa na kadua bako bi kura na bata ho kura na se nsoto na babo no kura obekɔ akɔkɔhyem onfere ni buo enti me ye mfere se ye Ganafo na yesi ye bonka se oman no ye dia enti obi tumi me ye mayen ya na se ye man enti ye leadership obetumi aka yen Ganafo aso den enti do be ese ade ensa den na ewuru yen ye ti abosan fie nan a eda animu ye be ye no no matter who will talk about it ye nye ye fancy esi oman no for that chi binti and we osino we ye de twa to ye ko na so ye fan twa to osino kro fifi e no mutu galamsey osino and na soldier for cost stop wom and no osino kro fifi e no mutu galamsey na soldier for cost stop wom
this country where are we heading towards?
Any at home sebe yo enye yo eye me ene wa but that production team na say ye be adwene say design na be no ye be keka ne sa ye the visuals support sa na also wo fia wotumi ehunu say you have a role to play. I also have a role to play. Engineers have a role to play. But ni nyina ye ka ni nyina boma ye de kokko moa say mpanifo ade ye nganimu no monka say choboy wo Ghana ankwa de ka choboy wiase ba bia no monka choboy Ghana nko a enti choboy no ya yusu jey yanko ne yakọ papa jey du bribi no choboy no so akoko enti wo na so akoko no wo be soa. Let's do that and see say ne ma tumi sisana ya da mo ase ye ho nyakopon ya dom a da se ne be sen aba na mo misanka bio si anchechire ya men ya ahoho be chechira ma yen so mo chechire so a wo mo chechire sa de ye pe no wo be chechire so no pe no e be wi ase no ye be da ne nkoa na ahoho no abeda na adahye da mo ase